So hey, hello everyone, and I welcome you all to APJ Academy, where we are nurturing the young minds to become doctor and engineers, just like you will become doctor and engineers in the near future. So in today's class, I'll be teaching you kinematics. I had divided these topics in two sessions. So in today's session, I'll be taking the linear kinematics, and in the next session, I'll be discussing the projectile motion. So let me first introduce myself. My name is Manoj Kumar. I am verified educator on APJ Academy, and I have 8+ years of teaching experience, online and offline both. And I guided more than 1 lakh students, out of which thousands have cracked the JEE exam, and many of them are in NITs and foreign universities. So this is all about me. And I also said that winners and losers have same goal. What does it mean? It means that all the students who are filling the form for JEE wants to crack the exam, and they all wanted to be selected in JEE exam. They all wanted same branch. If you ask any student who is filling the form, they basically wants IIT Bombay, and IIT Bombay specific branch computer science or the mechanical or the electrical and electronics branch. So when goal is fixed, what makes different? Why some got selected and some not? Many, right? What there is some difference between the winners and losers. What is that difference? The difference is process, consistency. As Virat Kohli one time said, that the difference between winners and losers is to handle the boredom. Basically, when you keeps on solving the same types of numericals, you feel bored. But the winners know that after boredom, they have the success that is very fruitful, isn't it? And to make you successful, we are providing you free classes regularly. So you will be getting a regular schedule, and for that you just need to subscribe the YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. Just that is required from your side. And let's start our journey for the kinematics. So what is kinematics? We'll be discussing that. Kinematics, a very important topic in physics. You can't ignore this topic. Why? Because this will come in every topic, whatever we are going to study in future. So basically, kinematics is the study of motion. Motion is happening, right, everywhere. The wind is moving, the persons are moving, the animals are moving. So motion is happening everywhere. But while we are studying the motion, we are not mainly concerned about that what causes the motion. So when we are studying the motion, but we are not concerned about the cause of motion, then we say that this type of study is known as kinematics. And in kinematics, we can classify these kinematics into three parts. First one is the straight line, which is also known as rectilinear motion. Second one is the projectile motion, in which we will see that I'll split that projectile motion into two straight line motion, and I'll be sharing very important tricks with you, so that whenever you got some projectile motion numericals, you will be doing that in just few seconds. And the third and most important thing is the relative motion. It's a blessing for us that if some frame is moving or some other objects is moving, or when multiple objects are moving, and then also we have to apply the kinematics, then there is some conditions. Only after that you can apply. So we'll be finding the relative data there. So how can you define that what is motion? Hello Shivani Yadav, good evening. So how many of you can define motion, that how we get to know that motion is happening or not? I know that some of you might have experienced that when you were sitting in a train and suddenly the other side of the train will start moving, then you might be thinking that your train is moving, isn't it? Or if you have experienced the virtual reality with the box, currently nowadays are very popular. So if you have experienced that, then also you might have seen that it feels like you are moving, isn't it? So basically, whenever we are discussing about the motion, it is not absolute kind of. Whenever we are discussing about motion, we require some reference. So reference is very important. In physics, whenever we are measuring anything, reference is important, because without reference, no measurement can be done, and without reference, no motion can be defined. So motion can happen only with reference thing. So this train is moving with reference to the platform, right? So in kinematics, we have to study these 8 parameters. These are the only 8 parameters which we have to study. And these 8 parameters are sufficient for us to solve any kind of motion question. And after that, we also have to learn that how to change this data into relative terms. If multiple objects is moving, then we have to change this data into relative data. So only these 8 parameters are important, and basically there is equation of motion which we have to learn, and how to change these parameters from one to another and another to one, right? So these are the only things which we are going to study in this chapter. Okay, so let's move. Please note it down. Please note it down. So if we talk about what is distance, so basically distance is the actual path traveled by the body. Assume that I am wearing a watch, like, right? So if I am moving forward distance, if I am traveling one step ahead, second step, third step, fourth step, so if I am taking multiple steps, then this watch is having a pedometer. This watch is calculating my number of steps, and based on the number of steps that an average person walks, it is calculating the distance traveled by the person. Can you think about that? If I am moving backward, will it cancel my number of steps? No, it won't cancel my number of steps, but it will add on only, right? If I am moving forward or backward, it will add only, right? It will add. So basically, when I am talking about the actual length traveled by the body is known as distance. Are you getting that? And displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final point. Here we only get to know about the initial point and the final point. Let me explain you through an example, so that you will be better able to understand that what is distance and what is displacement, right? So assume that this is the starting point A, and the person is moving through this path, and if this person stops at B, then the displacement will be from this point to this point. So the direction is different and the value is different, right? But if I am talking about when I am talking about the distance, so distance is this, because this person is moving through this distance, this path. So distance will be different as compared to the displacement. So if this person continues moving in this path and stops here, then also the distance and displacement will be different. If he'll move again, start moving and then stops, then also distance and displacement will be different, right? So when we are calculating the distance, we have to think in terms of that what is the actual path, and this is the most difficult thing which you can do, isn't it? Imagine that you are coming from your school to your home, and in between you got your girlfriend or boyfriend, and he was asking for that, please let me buy some ice cream, and you will be thinking, yaar, after how many days she had asked something from me. So you will be running, and you will be going towards your friend, asking him money. Yeah, please give me some money. She or he is asking about something. He or she is asking for the ice cream. So when you go, you will be changing your path, right? But when you went to your home, the initial point and the final point will be the same as you were having earlier as well, right? The day before or the day before. So initial and final point will be same, but your path will be different, right? So your distance will be more. So if I'll be your parent, I'll be calculating that from your watch. I'll be giving you a smartwatch and I'll be tracking that number of steps, and I'll be seeing that if you are traveling very large number of steps, then I'll be asking that what is the issue. So if you know physics, you can actually trace down that what is happening actually. Let's check some differences between the distance and displacement. So distance is the actual path traveled, and displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final point. Displacement is a vector quantity, distance is a scalar quantity. Displacement can be 0 for a closed path. If you are having initial and final point same, then the displacement will be 0. It's so rude. Means if I am having a ball with me and I am throwing this ball upward and it's coming down, then the displacement is 0. But when I am calculating the distance traveled by this ball, then this ball is going up, distance traveled d, and this ball is coming down, distance traveled d. So distance traveled is 2d, right? So there are multiple differences. Then the dimension, if we talk about the dimension will be same. So let's have some question time so that you get to know about that how to solve these types of questions. So are you all ready? Are you all ready with the question? So let's solve the question. So this is the question. So let's solve this question. A man has to go 50 meter. Okay, I'll be drawing direction for you because I know that some person will not know that how to mark this direction. So this is east, this is west, this is north, this is south. Okay, and you have to read one line and start using your hand or mind. If you do not use your hand or mind, then it will lose the coordination, and it might happen that you will be reading this question again. You will be reading this question again, and when you are reading this question again, then it will be a loss of time and loss of chances of getting selected. So please keep in your mind that you need to have a quick grasp of the question. So a man has to go 50 meter due north, so it will be going towards 50 meter north. So 50 meter north, and 40 meter due east, so 40 meter due east, and 20 meter due south, so 20 meter due south, and to reach the field. Okay, so he'll be there. Right? So next, they are asking about that what is the distance. So distance will be 50, 40, 90, 110. So distance is the actual part traveled by the body. You have to only add those things, right? Then second is the displacement. For displacement, you have to know the shortest path. So this is 30, this is 40. Okay, so this is 30, this is 40, and you know that how to get the value of the hypotenuse. So that will be I hope that you know that 3, 4 and 5 are the triplets. If this is 30, this is 40, this will be 50, right? But still, if you want to calculate, you can easily calculate this. 40 square plus 30 square. So that will be 900, 1600, so 2500. And when you are calculating the root of this, it will be 50. So 50 is the answer. Okay. Because for displacement, I only require initial point and final point. So this is initial point, this is final point, and I need to find out this value. So this value can be easily find out using the Pythagoras theorem. Let's move. Okay, same type of question again. You have to calculate this question. So a particle starts from origin and goes along x-axis to a point of 20, 0. Okay, let's draw at what they are asking. This is x-axis, this is x dash axis, this is y dash. This is the starting point. And when the person is starting, it is going towards 20, 0. So this goes from this to this. And then returns along the same line to minus 20. Okay. Minus 20, 0. Okay. So you have to find out that what is the distance and what is the displacement. So distance will be here, it is 20, 20, 20. So distance is 60. 20 going here, 20 going back, 20 going here, right? So total distance will be 60. And if they are asking about the displacement, then you know about that how to calculate the displacement. Displacement will be initial and final point. So initial point was that and final point was this. So difference is 20. So poll for the displacement, if you are marked this correct, please give yourself 4 marks. Otherwise mark negative, -1, right? So I hope that this is done. Then there are some definitions which are very useful. First one is the average and another one is the instantaneous. So if we are talking about average, keep remember only one point, that whenever we are talking about average, that means with reference to the total thing. So average speed is the total distance upon total time. Average speed is the total distance upon total time. And also write down some points, that every halt means to stop. So every halt time will be added in the total time. Every halt time will be added in total time. So this is very important point that you need to remember. Fine. So let's move. Then there is instantaneous velocity. You might have played the racing car games. So in racing car games, you have the velocity moving like this. So if you are having these kinds of speedometer with you, then you are getting some speeds here, right? So basically the speedometer is telling you about the instantaneous speed, right? It is not telling you that where are you going, that what is your direction. It is only simply saying the number. Are you getting my point? Whenever you are driving a vehicle, there is speedometer, and when you see this speedometer, it is showing some number. That is simply a number, that is not, there is no direction associated with that number. So that means that it is showing the instantaneous speed at that time, right? So for instantaneous speed, if we have to calculate the instantaneous speed, then we have to differentiate the thing. So if I am having if I am having the function of distance as x, so x will be the function of distance. So I can easily calculate using the differentiation. Keep remembering these formulas, the simple definition, and these are very important. The most important thing is that whenever you have to calculate the instantaneous quantity, you have to differentiate. And whenever you have to calculate the average kind of things, you just need to know that what is the total quantity. That if this is asking about the total average speed, then you have to know the total distance upon total time, right? So let's move forward. Then there is average velocity. Similarly, what we did in speed, average speed, we will be doing that here also. So average speed is total distance upon total total displacement. So total displacement upon total time. And you have to note that there is some warning. What is the warning? Warning is that whenever you have to find out the average velocity, please do not find the average. You have to know that you need to find out the total displacement upon total time. It's not about the average of velocities, right? Two velocities that will be given to you. So keep remember this point, because this point is very important. Students generally make mistake in this point. And the final point, whenever you have to calculate the instantaneous velocity, then what you need to do? Velocity is ds by dt. S is displacement. S is displacement, right? So velocity is ds by dt. S is displacement. So I hope that this is fine for you. And similarly, for the average acceleration, we will be doing that. For average acceleration, we will be saying that will be equals to the change in velocity divided by total time. And for the instantaneous acceleration, if I have to calculate, then I'll be using the differentiation dv by dt, right? So these are some basic formulas that you should know if you really want to solve the numericals. And now the most important part of kinematics, that how to change displacement to velocity, velocity to acceleration, and vice versa. So if I am having a function x or s as displacement, and I am marking this velocity as v, this acceleration as a, so if I am moving from here to here, then velocity will be equals to ds by dt. Velocity is the rate of change of displacement. Acceleration will be dv by dt. So I have to do the differentiation. And when I have to go in opposite direction, then I can easily find out that dv is equals to a dt. And if I have to calculate the v, then it will be integration of a dt. Right? And here you have to place the value of time. Why time? Because we are integrating with reference to time only. And from here, if we will calculate ds, we'll be getting v dt. We'll be getting v dt. And here we'll be getting s is equals to integration of v dt. The limits will be of time only. Please note this. This is very important for you, that how to change velocity to acceleration, acceleration to velocity, how to change from displacement to velocity. This is very important. Please take the screenshot of this. Please take screenshot of this. This is very, very important point. And if you are done with this, we can move forward. And let's see that what are the practical application of these things. But before that, let's solve some previous year questions so that you will be getting a quick grasp of the topics, and you get to know that whether you are able to solve the questions in your exams or not. So questions practice is very important in physics. So here we have the question given is, in 1 second a particle goes from A point to B point moving in a semicircle. The magnitude of the average velocity is, okay, we do not know about the circle and the radius. I think that diagram is missing from the question, but no issues, I'll draw for you. So in 1 second, a particle goes from point A to B, moving in a semicircle. So I think that take radius as 1 meter. Let's see if we get the answer. So for average velocity, we have to find the total displacement upon total time, right? So average velocity is equal to total displacement. Total displacement is 2r divided by time. Time is already given to us. So 1 divided by 1. So 2 meter per second. Yes, this is coming. So this R, take this R as 1 meter. That will be given in your question. As I know that it got missed in this numerical, so I gave you the value, right? I hope that this question is clear to you. This was very simple because this question was asked in 1990s. There were very few coaching centers at that time, and the standard of questions were very poor, if I'll be saying. But as compared to today's scenario, the coaching centers are very high, right? So students are better coached, students have better IQs, so they will be asking more challenging questions this time, right? So let's move to the next question. A particle is moving eastward. So this question is directly taken from H.C. Verma. A particle is moving towards eastward with a velocity of 5 meter per second. In 10 seconds, the velocity changes to 5 meter per second northward. Okay, if I'll mark this as I vector, this is as J vector, then I have to calculate the acceleration. Okay, so acceleration is V minus U divided by T. So V is 5J minus of 5I divided by time is 10. So acceleration is 5. I can take the 5 as common. I can take 5 as common, then it will be minus of 1 by 2I plus 1 by 2 J cap. Right? So this is the acceleration equation, but I need to find out the magnitude, and I can easily get that what is the direction of that it will be going towards this direction: east, west, north, south. So I know that this is going towards northwest, so this will be my answer. Even you can calculate the magnitude if you want. Magnitude can be easily calculated by 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 2 square, and there will be 0 because cos 90 degree is 0. Then I can easily get this will be 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 2 and root. So this will be 1 by root 2, right? So this acceleration is 1 by root 2, right? So this was question from 1982. Very, very, very old question, but very, very good question. Let's move. Now, there are some very important parameters that you will be having in your kinematics 1D. What are these parameters? I'll be teaching you some equations. As you already know that there are 3 equations of motion, right? And these 3 equations of motion can be applied in free fall motion. What is free fall motion? If I'll keep 2 objects, one heavy, this ball, and one feather, this is very light. This is having mass m1, this is having mass m2. And if I'll allow them to move in a vacuum tube, then which one will reach the ground first? Both will reach at same time. Why? Because in kinematics, in free fall motion, The motion is not depending upon the mass. So it doesn't matter that whether the object is heavy or light. It doesn't matter. The thing that matters is what will be the acceleration. So we will be doing that. As you know that equations of motion are, some of you might be knowing that the equation of motion are, first v minus u is equals to at. Second, v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Third, s is equals to ut plus half at square. So these are three equations of motion. And other than three equations of motion, I want that you should know the SNth equation as well. Because these are only four things which you require, right? Which is required from your side. Which I am suggesting you that if you know these things, if you know your basics right, you will be able to crack any question which are coming from kinematics. This is my confidence, right? So let's see that how to get some important equations from free fall. So there are basically 5 arrows which I am telling you. Only these 5 arrows are important for you, and only on these things the questions will be asked. So what are these arrows? First one is the time of fall. When something is falling, the time of fall is very important, that how much time it will take, right? Imagine you are standing at Burj Khalifa, then how much time the stone will take to get into the ground, isn't it? If you know these kinds of questions, you will be able to solve any kind of questions that are coming in JEE Mains. So you have to find out the time of fall, then you have to find out the speed of fall, that at what speed it will hit the ground. Then what is the maximum height that an object will attain if I am throwing that up with some velocity. Then what is the total time taken by the object, and then the history repeats itself. That is very important concept, that the history repeats itself. Very, very important concept, that history repeats itself. Let's move. Okay. Shall I solve? Let's first solve this question. Let's see that how many of you will be able to solve this question. And then I'll teach you that what is required to solve. What are the equations and how to use those equations. So a ball is thrown vertically upward with a velocity of 40 meters per second. Then the velocity of the ball after 2 seconds. So keep remember these things. In kinematics, always 3 data will be given to you. So your first task must be to identify these 3 data. If you get to know that what are these 3 data, then there is no issue in solving these questions. So if I know that the initial velocity with which the object was thrown is 40 meters per second. Second, the time given is 2 seconds, and I know that object is deaccelerating with an acceleration of 10 meters per second square. These 3 data are very important. This is implicit in the question. Because that is not directly available to you. You have to get to this point by your knowledge, right? When I'm throwing this ball upward, after 2 seconds, what will be the speed? I require some 3 data, right? So how I'll get these 3 data? U is already given. A ball is thrown vertically upward with a velocity of 40 meters per second. Velocity of the ball after 2 seconds means the time is given and acceleration is given. So these 3 data are given to us. And then we have equations of motion. V minus U is equals to AT. Here we can calculate the U. By using this equation, we can easily calculate the U. So U will be, V will be U40 minus A So v is equals to 20 meter per second. So v is equals to 20 meter per second is the correct answer. As this is a neat question and that's too very old, so there is direct method that you can apply in your question. Like if you imagine that a ball is here and I am throwing this ball with some initial velocity which is having 40, and after every second this ball will be losing its velocity as 10, right? Acceleration, we are having deceleration of 10 meter per second square. So after every second this ball is losing its speed. So after 1 second this ball will be at 30 meter per second, and after that this ball will be having 20 meter per second. So you can easily find out that thing. Next, moving forward, let's now calculate that how to get to those equations directly, because if you know these equations, I'll be using these equations only when we will be studying the projectile motion. So as I told you that in case of kinematics you will be having three datas given to you. It is always given. If it is not given, then tell the examiner that you won't be able to solve that because it is impossible to solve. So if someone is throwing a ball, if someone is dropping a ball from a particular height, then height must be given. Otherwise, ball will go so on, and it will not reach any floor, right? So height must be given to us. So in this scenario, what will be given to us? U will be 0, acceleration will be 10 meter per second square, and S will be given to us as H. So these are the 3 meters which will be given to us. And how many variables are there? In total, there are only 4 variables used in equations of motion. 5 variables. That is UV set. These are the only 5 variables which you will find in equation of motion. Nothing more, nothing less. These are the only 5 variables which you will be getting in equations of motion. In all 3 equations of motion, you will be getting only these 5 variables. And out of these 5 variables, you will be having 3 data in your given data. So only 2 were left. So out of these things, what is left? If I have to calculate T, then how I can calculate T? I can easily use S is equals to UT plus half AT square. If I'll use this equation, this will cut down and time will come as 2S divided by A root. So I'll be getting time as 2H divided by G. So this is the time of fall. This is the time of fall. Imagine that you are having a building of 20 meter. Then what will be the time taken by an object when you are dropping that object from that height? So time taken can be easily calculated using the formula 2 into height will be 20 and G will be 10. So it will be 2 seconds. So object will take only 2 seconds to reach the ground. So when I am throwing some ball from a height of 20 meter, it will take 2 seconds only. I hope that this formula is very much clear to you. So this U was given to us, this S was given to us, this A was given to us, and we have find the T. So only thing which was left is V, that what will be the velocity of the object when it is hitting the ground. So velocity of the object when it is hitting the ground can be easily calculated using the equation V square minus U square is equals to 2AS. So U is 0, I can easily cancel that. Then V can be 2AS, I can say that 2GH. So velocity will be root 2GH. So this is important, this is important. Right? So this is important, note down. Two conditions are done. Next, a boy standing at the top of a tower 20-meter high drops a stone. The velocity with which it hits the ground. Velocity with which it hits the ground. So it was taken from NEET question, but it is also very useful for you as well, guys. So we know that the velocity will be root 2 gh. So 2 into 10 into 20, right? So it will be 20 meter per second. So I hope that you can easily find out these kinds of questions if come in your JEE Mains exam, right? So next moves towards the next thing, that when I am throwing a ball with particular velocity, if I am providing some velocity to the ball, then what will happen? If I am providing some velocity to the ball, then what will happen? I need to provide some velocity, right? So here, the three things which will be given to us is u. U must be a finite value. The acceleration will be minus of 10 meter per second square, because velocity will be losing. So acceleration will be minus of 10 meter per second square, right? And when this ball reaches the maximum height, the velocity will become 0. So these are the three parameters which are given to us, and in total we have 5 parameters, which is UV set. So these are the 5 parameters which we are having, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And out of these 5 parameters, we are having U, A and V. So U, A and V. So we can easily find out that what is the S, isn't it? We can easily find out that what is S here. So I can use, what you will use here. So I can use V square minus U square is equals to 2AS. And I know that this will be 0. Minus of U square is equals to minus of 2GH. This will cut, and the height the object will reach will be U square by 2G. U square by 2G. So if you are throwing a ball with 20 meter per second, then the maximum height it will reach is 20. If you are throwing a ball with 40 meter per second, then the maximum height it will reach is 80, right? So this is how you can easily calculate the maximum height reached by the ball when you are throwing that ball with some particular velocity. Then the question arises that how to calculate the total time taken by the ball, or the time to take the time to reach the maximum height. So if I am separating this motion into two types of motion, that first of all we are throwing this ball upward and it is getting velocity 0. This is continuously deaccelerated by acceleration is equals to minus of 10 meter per second, or I can say that acceleration is equals to minus of g if I am keeping that only. Then you can use one equation, v minus u is equals to 80, right? Velocity is 0, minus u is equals to minus of gt. So time to reach the maximum height is u by g. Time to reach the maximum height is u by g. So if you are throwing a ball with 10 meter per second, that will reach in 1 second. If you are throwing ball with 20 meter per second, put that 20 here, 10 in the downward denominator, that object will take 2 seconds. If you put 30 meter per second, if you are throwing a ball with 30 meter per second, it will take 3 seconds to go up. And similarly, it will take 3 seconds to go down, because I told you that history repeats itself. So the total time taken by the ball to reach the ground is 2u by g. So these are very important formulas which I told you. and we will directly use these formulas while solving the numericals. Are you all getting this? So let's move forward. Now, this is a very important question. This question is also taken from NEET exam, but this is also very important for you as well, for JEE Mains. Let's assume a stone is released from a top of a tower, reaches the ground in 4 seconds. A stone is released from the tower. Okay. So time is given here. And as you know, that the condition will be u is 0 here. We do not know that what is the height. We just know that time taken by the stone is 4 seconds. The acceleration is 10 meter per second square. Right? So, for that, we can easily calculate S is equals to ut plus half at square, right? U is 0 and time is 2s divided by g. This is the time. So time given here is 4. Height we do not know. Acceleration I can put that as. So that will be 5. And if I'll square this equation, I'll get 16 is equals to s by 5. S is equals to 80. So S is equals to 80 meter. So answer is 80 meter. Or you can substitute this value to the formula directly as well, right? So you can cross check this. Now, the most important part is that history repeats itself. What do you mean by history repeats itself? This is a very fascinating concept, and there are so many questions asked on this topic only in JEE. So when I am telling you that object is moving upward, then object is losing its velocity, right? I am throwing with some particular velocity, object is losing its velocity till it reaches its maximum height. And after reaching its maximum height, the velocity is gained by the object and it is gaining the velocity and it is moving downward, 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 downward. This is what happening, right? So I can say that if I am taking a particular time interval, then the distance traveled will be more and that will decrease down as I am going upward. It will keeps on decreasing, right? And similarly, it will keeps on increasing. So if at any time some person says that the object is having particular velocity, then I get to know that velocity with which the object is going up and the velocity with which the object is moving down will be same at one particular point. At one particular point, the velocity will be same, but the direction will be different, right? And similarly, the distance traveled by object going up will be same as the distance traveled by the object moving downward. So I get to know that the only condition will be that one object is moving up, the other object is going down. In the unidirection, if I am considering, unidirection means the direction, considering this, that object is moving up only, then in that direction it won't happen that the object will be moving up only, right? The object is accelerating, it won't happen, right? So that means the history repeats itself. Let's solve some question at how the questions will come in this on this topic. How the questions will come in this topic on this topic. So question is given as a body is thrown vertically upward. If it travels equal distances, a body is thrown vertically upwards. If it travels equal distances in 7th and 10th second. What do you mean by 7th second? What do you mean by 7th second? 7 second means 6 second complete. And 7 is yet to complete. Like if you have seen the students of class 11th, so 11th means yet your 10th class is completed, your 11th is pending, it is yet to complete. So similarly we are having the sentence seconds. So in this question it is saying that when the object is traveling the distance in 7 seconds will be equals to 10 seconds. As you know that when object is going up, that will be the condition of 7 seconds, and when the object is going down, that will be the condition of 10 seconds. It can't be taken in unidirection. Why? Because only when object is going up and down, then only the distance can be seen, right? Because here the velocity is loosed by the body and here the velocity is gained by the body. Then how to solve this kind of question? We have to calculate the initial velocity with which the object was thrown. There are two methods through which we can easily solve this question. There are two methods. Like assume 6 seconds will be completed, 7 seconds will be here, and in the 10 second, that means 9 seconds will be completed here, 10th will come here, right? Are you getting this? If I am telling this that this is the 7 second, this is going up, and I am telling you that this is the 10th second and this is going down, then in the 8th second this ball will be moving up, and in the 8th second this ball will be moving up, in the 9th second this ball will be moving down, and in the 10th second it will be coming down. So I know that at time t is equals to 8 seconds, the ball is reaching its maximum height, and that maximum height the velocity will be 0, right? So time to get to the maximum height is given by the formula t is equals to u by g. So from here I can easily get the velocity will be tg. So velocity will be 80 meter per second. Initial velocity will be 80 meter per second, right? Now let's have some shortcut. This was the concept which we will be using. So this was the concept. Now let's have the shortcut for that. So for the shortcut, you just need to add these things. To get the time, you need to add these things. 10 plus 7 minus of 1 divided by 2. So time will be 17, 17 minus 1, 16, 16 by 2. So time will be 8 seconds. So you can easily get that what is the maximum, what is the time taken by the body to reach the maximum height. And when you get the maximum height, you can easily calculate the u as gt. Initial velocity can easily be calculated using formula gt. So this is how we are going to solve these types of question. Let's solve another question. This is the kind of similar questions you are having. Very similar question and very important question. These kinds of questions have already been asked in your JEE exam, right? So these are very important kind. And as I told you that how to solve this question, there is shortcut trick. As I already told you, you can easily find, add this number, 7 plus 4, 11, minus 1, 10, divided by 2. So total time taken by the body to reach the maximum height is 5 seconds, right? So body is taking 5 second time. What will be the initial velocity? It will be tg. So u will be 50 meter per second. And by concept also you will be getting the same answer. So before ending this class, I want to tell you about that if you really want to crack this exam this time only, then you require a coaching. And even if you are not ready to pay for coaching, I want you that you please join our Telegram channel, because there you will get so many free things. You will be getting PDF material, official PDF materials of APJ Academy. You are getting free class updates. You are getting announcement which we are creating. You will be getting the discounts and the prices which we are providing to our students. We had provided 3 months free courses for everyone. So if you are regular to our classes, then you will be getting a lot of things, right? For that, you just need to join our Telegram channel, ALTJE, and also you can do that using this scanner. So if you do not know how to scan, you can go in the description box, and then you will get to know that how to get this thing. Also, we are having a crash course. A crash course is a course where we had designed it very structured manner, in which I personally structured that for physics, and there are around 90 plus classes for you. Duration of the course will be until your exam. Syllabus will be covered by JEE experts like me, and we are using a very unique method, which is flipped classroom method. And you might be thinking that, sir, what is flipped classroom method? Basically, flipped classroom method is a very unique concept which is used by European universities. What they did is they are providing some initial input to the student with the material, and then the students will become more curious, and they will come into the exam half prepared, right? Come to the class half prepared, and after that they will be discussing the concepts. I'll explain you this thing. And then there is doubt clearing sessions which we are providing one-to-one. So this is how our closed classroom looks. First of all, we will be providing you a short theory. What is short theory? I'll be explaining you in 10 to 15 minutes that what we are going to study in our main class. What are the advantages of those topics? What are the applications? Basically, I'll be inciting you to study those topics through yourself, through the study material which we are providing. Once you've gone through that video and gone through the study material, you'll be coming to our live classes. When you come to our live classes, then you get to know about the basic concepts. Then we will be solving some physics numericals, and then there will be homework for you, and we will check your homework. And currently we are also providing a complete full year course. It's not like any other coaching institute or the online institute what they provide. It's basically an online course, right? But with this online course, we are providing you the free study material, a complete module, complete question bank, personal doubt clearing session, because we believe that one-to-one doubt clearing session is better than a dedicated, better than the collective doubt clearing session. Because each child is unique, and when each child is unique, each one will be having some unique problems, right? So we'll be solving one-to-one doubt clearing sessions with our personal mentors, with our tutors. There will be a test series provided to you. There will be an assignments and DPPs provided to you regularly after every class. And also, we will be 100% sure that you will be 100% confident once you join this full year course with us. So these are the details which I had discussed with you. So a complete course from APJ Academy, a complete structured course, free study material, free question bank, free test series, free crash course, and free access to all the lectures and assignments, DPPs, which we are providing with the personal one-to-one mentorship. So more than 25 major tests, more than 20 lectures per month. After every lesson, you will be getting a DPPs, right? So there are so many things which we are providing. Now, some of you might be thinking that why do we require coaching? What is the requirement of coaching in this era when everything is available on the internet? So knowledge was never been limited. Even at the time of Dronacharya, the knowledge was not limited. Eklavya learned everything residing in the cave. But the most important thing is the direction. So what does this coaching provides you? Any coaching institute, it doesn't matter whether you are following APJ Academy or any other, but the coaching provide you a calendar schedule. So it will be better if you know that when the class will be happening. So it will provide you a consistency, and consistency provide you motivation, a sustained motivation that will be there, right? It will also provide you confidence to solve the most difficult questions, because you will be solving those questions in your class. So it will provide you confidence. And the third thing is challenge, because when you are alone, facing the challenging question will become a challenge itself, right? So when you are with me, facing these questions will be a cakewalk for you, and then we will be enhancing your capability so that you will be able to crack this exam. Even if you know about the Mahabharata, you get to know that everyone requires coach. Even the best archer of that time, Arjuna, was mentored by Lord Krishna. If you remove Lord Krishna from the Mahabharata, Arjun was nothing, isn't it? Karan was more talented. Yeah, or I can say that Karan and Arjun was equally talented. But the most important thing, what makes them differ is the mentoring by Lord Krishna. So everyone requires coaching. Why don't you? Please do not play with your career. Either you join us or some other coaching institutes, but please, if you really want to crack this exam, you require a coaching, right? And again, I am reiterating that all these facilities which we are providing, you can buy this separately as well. Part payments also available. All online modes are available with us. The most important thing with us, APJ Academy, is your confidence. You can, if you only want study material from us, you can buy that. If you only want test series with us, you can buy that. So if you only want question bank, crash course, assignments, DPPs, you can buy them separately as well. So you just need to know, if you really want to see that how our study material looks, how our test series looks, you can join our Telegram channel. After that, you will get to know that what is the standard of our packages, right? So here I am ending this class, and I am reiterating that APJ Academy is the best academy which you can ever imagine. And through this academy, we will ensure that you will crack the entrance exam, and you will be named here. I'll be showing your names here that you have cracked the entrance exam from APJ Academy, right? So structured courses there, free study material will be there. Please, if you really want to clarify any doubts regarding the subscription, check the description below and do let us know if you have any query. So we will meet again in the future classes. Bye bye till then, and solve your assignments. Bye bye.